Thank you, Mary and Trish and faculty members for inviting me to visit with you. I was Mary Toller's major professor in her doctoral program, and Trish Gott's major professor in her master's program. So obviously I take total credit for everything that's happened in the Leadership Studies program. I'm pausing for a second for the laughter to end. I guess I need to start by just making it clear that we're all here today because of one person, and that's Susan Scott. She was the inspiration, the heart, the courage, the motivation to develop what's become an incredible program today. When we started, I taught the first introductory class with 8 students. Susan taught the community outreach program, our practicum, and Susan and I co-taught the senior seminar. And from the very beginning, students were a huge part of everything we did. They were involved in a lot of the decision making. When Susan and I wrote the book Leadership Lessons from Bill Snyder, the students helped us edit it and proof it and gave it a lot of positive feedback to make it better. I think Leadership Studies program is terrific. I think knowledgeable, ethical, caring, inclusive leadership is critically needed now, perhaps more than ever before. Susan has made such a contribution, and those of you in this room have made such a contribution. I know that it's going to make a difference in the world. I know that the people who've been recognized today really appreciate the experience they had in the leadership program. I'm very honored and proud and happy to have my name associated with one of these awards and with the quality people who win these awards. So as I think about you in this room, I'm confident that knowledgeable, ethical, caring leadership will be carried on with you, and the world would become a better place. Have a great day.
In the summer of 2018, I came to the Staley School of Leadership as a Mandela Washington Fellow. The way that the Staley School talked about leadership was different, and it spoke to me. I came back in 2022 to do my PhD in leadership communication with them. I am doing a discourse analysis on the impact of colonialism in African leadership approaches. Many African countries were colonized, and after they gained their independence, they kept the colonizers' ways of running institutions, organizations, governments, and that influenced their policies and how they narrated or designed leadership programs. I, through this research, was looking at how that has impacted how Africa reviews and practices leadership currently. The way that colonizers define and execute leadership is different from the cultures of African people. And so I argue that we need contextually relevant leadership approaches. We need policies that speak to people's cultures, values, beliefs, and ways of being. And so I wanted to see how we can develop research frameworks, leadership frameworks that align with people's cultures and values so that we can have health systems, education systems, policies, constitutions that actually speak to its people.
So I work in Dr. Brad Olson's lab, and his lab focuses on the genetic mechanisms behind evolutionary transitions. So I work with him and a postgrad student on a project that works with the Volvocene green algae as a model system, specifically with one called Uterina. And in this species, we have noticed that under some kind of environmental stressor, such as cold shocking it, it's able to develop plastic somatic cells. So we are studying the genetic mechanisms behind that transition. I think it would be interesting to see how it can be applied to other organisms. For example, cancer. I'm excited and grateful to even be considered and receiving this award, because I always think about the people who have helped me achieve this, from my research mentors, academic, professional, even peers. Growing up in science classes, I would see videos of how researchers would be working in their labs with their white coats on, and I would think that's pretty cool. But I had never imagined that I would find myself one day in a lab working with actual model systems and actually trying to contribute something to the scientific community. So being able to be part of that and learn about research, how it's conducted, about the scientific community, I really appreciate what I have learned, and I hope to continue to do it in my future work.